Hello, listeners. Tonight, we take you back to one of the most chilling and mysterious series of crimes in American history, the case of the Zodiac Killer. For over 5 decades, the true identity of this elusive killer has remained a haunting mystery. Tonight, we look at the timeline of his crimes, the taunting letters he sent to the press, and the latest developments in this still unsolved case. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror spanned several years and left a trail of victims across Northern California. His first known murders occurred in 1968 with the brutal killings of Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday. Just months later, he struck again, this time targeting Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau at Blue Rock Springs. The horror continued with the infamous Lake Berryessa attack in 1969, where the killer brutally stabbed Brian Hartnell and Cecilia and Shepard. His final known murder occurred later that year with the cold-blooded shooting of taxi driver Paul Stein in San Francisco. Each of these attacks holds chilling details, and in the following segments, we will examine them one by one to understand the horror that unfolded and the killer's methodical pattern. It was December 20th, 1968, when the first victims of the Zodiac Killer were found in a remote area near Vallejo, California. Betty Lou Jensen, 16, and her boyfriend David Faraday, 17, were parked on a quiet road when a man approached their vehicle and shot them both at point-blank range. Their deaths marked the beginning of a series of unsolved killings that would terrorize the Bay Area. At the time, investigators had no idea who was responsible for this gruesome double murder. But things would take a dark turn just months later. On July 31st, 1969, the San Francisco Chronicle received a letter that would change everything. The writer, who identified himself as the Zodiac, claimed responsibility for the murders of Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday. But it was not just a confession. The letter contained a cryptic cipher that the killer promised would reveal his identity once solved. This was just the beginning of the Zodiac's chilling correspondence with the media. Over the next year, he would send several more letters, each one more disturbing than the last. Just 1 month after the first letter, on July 4th, 1969, the Zodiac struck again. This time, he targeted a young couple, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau, in Blue Rock Springs Park. The killer approached their car, shot them both, and fled the scene. But in a twist of fate, Michael Mageau survived, providing police with a valuable eyewitness account. Despite his survival, the case would remain unsolved, and the Zodiac Killer's reign of terror continued. Then, on September 27, 1969, the Zodiac Killer would commit one of his most notorious attacks at Lake Berryessa, near Napa, California. This time, the killer approached a young couple, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia and Shepard, as they relaxed by the water. Wearing an executioner's hood and a symbol on his chest, the Zodiac bound the couple with rope before brutally stabbing them. Before fleeing, he drew a symbol on Hartnell's car door, one that would become forever linked to the Zodiac's identity. Following the Lake Berryessa attack, the Zodiac Killer continued his disturbing pattern of communication. On July 26, 1970, he sent another letter to the San Francisco Chronicle, this time with more cryptic messages and a new cipher. The Zodiac claimed that he would have to go on a kill rampage if the ciphers weren't published. His threats and taunts grew increasingly personal, aimed at both the police and the media. The killer didn't just boast about his crimes. He mocked authorities, telling them they would never catch him. As the ciphers remained unsolved, it seemed that the Zodiac was in full control, toying with investigators and the public. Perhaps the most famous of the Zodiac ciphers was the 340-character cipher, sent to the San Francisco Chronicle in 1969. This puzzle, which stumped cryptographers and investigators for years, contained a hidden message, one that the Zodiac claimed would reveal his identity. Though the cipher remained unsolved for decades, in 2020, a team of amateur cryptographers cracked it. The message they revealed, however, was less than revelatory. It read, "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber." Still, the killer's true identity remained a mystery, and the hunt for him continued. On October 11th, 1969, the Zodiac Killer committed his final known murder in the city of San Francisco. Paul Stine, a 29-year-old taxi driver, was shot in the head in the Presidio Heights neighborhood while driving a passenger. After killing Stine, the Zodiac walked away, leaving behind only a piece of evidence, a bloody shirt fragment. An eyewitness, who had seen the killer's face, provided a police sketch, but no leads were forthcoming. The murder was the last confirmed Zodiac killing, though the killer's letters would continue for several more years. Over the next few years, the Zodiac Killer's communications began to dwindle. His last known letter was sent in 1974, and after that, the killer seemed to disappear. Despite occasional tips, police were unable to find him. And though the Zodiac case became one of the most infamous unsolved mysteries in history, many theories emerged about his true identity. Several suspects have been proposed over the years, including Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted child molester, and others who were believed to have had a connection to the crimes. However, none of these suspects have been definitively linked to the murders. In 2020, the FBI officially closed its investigation into the Zodiac, but the case remains open in the minds of many. In recent years, new developments have reignited interest in the Zodiac case. In 2021, DNA analysis of evidence from the crime scenes was revisited, though no conclusive matches have been found. Some experts believe that advancements in forensic technology could finally lead to the killer's identification. Although the Zodiac Killer has been silent for decades, the case remains one of the most captivating in American criminal history. Was he ever caught? And could modern technology finally uncover his identity? For now, the mystery endures. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the chilling world of the Zodiac Killer, a mystery that still leaves us with more questions than answers. As we examined his cryptic ciphers and the unsolved crimes that continue to haunt our history, one thing remains clear. The truth is hidden in shadows, waiting to be uncovered. If you found this investigation as riveting as we did, please like, subscribe, and share your theories in the comments below. Stay tuned for our next deep dive into another perplexing cold case that might just change everything we thought we knew. Your support fuels our quest for truth, so let's keep exploring these mysteries together.